This was the very first precious footage of Sea Dog. Back then, he had just climbed out of the ocean and wandered onto my dad's fish raft. At first, he was terrified, but the moment my dad handed him a dumpling, his people-pleasing dog mode instantly kicked in. In fact, out on the sea, there are quite a few dogs. People bring them to the rafts to act as guard dogs. For the first few days, Sea Dog even pretended to do the job, but it was obvious. Guarding was not his calling. Luckily, he found another way. For example, it's 5 a.m. when my dad took the boat out to work. You will suddenly see, the Sea Dog is welcoming him to work. No one knew how long he had been waiting, but he shows up right away every time. Greet my dad with the warmest, most enthusiastic welcome. And when the day ended, he would walk him home, all the way to the edge of the world a dog could reach. He tried too hard, that we thought, maybe we should adopt him and bring him to shore. But there was a problem. Sea Dog had lived his whole life drifting on the sea. He had no idea how to survive indoors. We worried a lot, especially since none of us had ever raised a pet before. To our surprise, Sea Dog adapted quickly. He was curious, but a little cautious. Well, is very reserved. He immediately realizes he had done something humans disliked. It's like he had been worrying about it all along. But watching him wander nervously around the house, my dad remained hesitant.
Not really a house dog.
The next day, when my dad left for work, he deliberately left Sea Dog home alone, just to see if he would destroy the place. A single sock, but not chewed through. And a pot lid. Well, we thought he had broken it, but 2 days later, my dad found the lid exactly where he had misplaced it himself. After that, Sea Dog faced a string of new challenges. For example, getting used to a leash, adapt to the cage, and most importantly, to doing his business on land. At first, we were afraid he'd go anywhere in the house. He might be worried about not pooping in the right place, so he didn't poop for 3 days. Finally, he picked the balcony and made it his bathroom, close enough to home, but not too close. It felt like such a thoughtful decision, almost against animal instinct. Sometimes I think he isn't just a dog, he thinks. He seems to understand that he's at a turning point in his life, and that he has to try his best. Then came the big test. To be honest, we're feeling a bit on edge as well, even though I had already been bonding with him. And I rode along in the car. But the trip was simply too overwhelming and traumatic for the dog. So we're really worried. Would the stress change him? Would he turn bitter and distant? However, 16 hours later, no resentful. Looked only confused. 30 hours later, he still couldn't believe he was alive. But even then, he wagged his tail. A friend once told me Sea Dog was a clever and sensitive dog. I didn't fully get it at that time, but looking back now, I finally realize. The pup kept trying to sense and think, suppressing his instincts and enduring his fears, just so we would like him, just to stay with us. Maybe you'll say, aren't all dogs like that? Aren't they all people pleasers? But no, after Sea Dog came home, my mom spoiled him endlessly. And as for me, I've always had a bit of a people-pleasing personality myself. He's become like this now. What I've learned is this: there's no such thing as a born people-pleaser dog. There are only dogs who weren't loved enough. So I just wish Sea Dog could love me a bit more.